I call her Miss Everything, but she's actually our Director of Administration. We have our Interim Deputy Commissioner, Kimberly Finley, Deputy Commissioner Colas, and Classification and Compensation Director, Merlandy Vincent. And amazing team behind us. Right. Yes.
Is that the?
I can introduce my team right there one by one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we can begin?
Yes.
Okay. Human Resources, the overall mission of the Human Resources Department is to attract, retain, develop a diverse and competent workforce that enables city departments to achieve their business objectives. In all of our relationships, we stand for integrity, respect, and compassion. We do this to promote our pursuit of extraordinary governance to move Atlanta forward. What we're going to do today is give a brief overview of where we are in human resources and share some of our accomplishments and some of our challenges and how we plan to move forward in FY25. So moving over to the second page 2 of our presentation. We'd like to talk about a few of the accomplishments of the department. Based on the 4 pillars that the mayor has established for his administration. A city of opportunity for all. The Department of Human Resources and this amazing team behind me hired and promoted a total of 3,017 plus individuals with an average time to hire employees from 67 days to reduce that time to hire from 67 days to 44 days. And we have an offer acceptance rate of about 93%. The national average to hire is about 36 days. Yes, and we're at 44, and I believe for government, that number is 119, and we're at 44. And kudos to the TA team. A city built for the future. In less than 1.5 years, we completed the classification and compensation study that has been well anticipated for approximately 10 to 14 years in the city. Compliments to the team and to Ms. Merlandy Vincent, who's our classification and compensation director, and our partners Evergreen and Mercer, who helped us bring it nearly to a close. I know there will be questions about the classification and compensation study. We are still pending your approval for the study, and we will discuss that a little bit more as we get into the presentation. In less than 1.5 years, we completed the study for general employees, public safety, and public safety being all 3 arms, police, fire, and corrections. But corrections was actually with the general employees. This study will affect or impact 100% of the workforce, and we will talk about that a little bit later beyond the town halls that we've already socialized with all of the labor units as well as your offices. We successfully implemented Oracle Time and Labor and ATL Cloud Performance Management System, which brought us into compliance with FLSA. Stop and talk about that for a second. The performance management system was also something that was anticipated and directed by you all as well as the administration. The performance management system went live January of this year. Compliments to Director Isaacs of HRIS and her team in partnership with AIM, Chief Sankey and his team, as well as, I can't name everybody in finance, from payroll to our CFO, especially Chief Carr. So we wanted to thank those partners for working with us to get Oracle Time and Labor. So as of next year, January 25, we look forward to having, did I turn it off? I look forward to having our employees receive actual performance evaluations and their touch points at 30, 60, and 90 days moving forward. We have partnered with the Department of Finance to launch the second class of the Mayor Andre Dickens Institute of Professional Development. This effort reduced AP processing cycle times and processed over 15,000 invoices with a financial impact of, as the mayor likes to say, $500 million. We paid our bills in less than 5 weeks. We did that last year. I believe we had the culminating graduation for that class in August of last year. What's new and improved moving forward under a city built for the future? We will implement the first phase of the citywide compensation study, subject to your approval, coming to a chamber near you in the near future. I believe it's up for us to present legislation on the 13th of June? June 12th, ordinance. And also to develop an attractive employer brand that highlights the city's values and opportunities for growth and all the great work that all of the city is doing, not just the Department of Human Resources. Effective and ethical government. Our goal was to ensure compliance with all relevant labor laws, regulations, and city policies to mitigate risks and maintain a fair and ethical work environment, which seems to be a very popular topic around here. Thank you, DC Colas, to you and your team in compliance and regulation for moving forward and automating quite a few of our systems as it relates to compliance and government and compliance with the law. Moving forward, talking about the money. Currently, HR has a total of 168 authorized positions, 130 filled and 38 vacant. Current vacancy rate is approximately 23%, which is due to competitive job market. Qualified HR professionals have more options in the private sector, which leads to increased turnover and higher vacancy rates, but we still have a good team. HR is addressing these factors with a comprehensive approach, including strategies by investing in employee development and satisfaction. The general fund has a total of 96.27 authorized positions, with 24.3 of them vacant. 11 of the vacant positions are funded for FY25, which have been posted. Did you receive a copy of the, did you receive it yet? No? Sorry. Okay, HR's fiscal year 25 proposed budget has an overall $2.9 million increase over last year. The variance is due to 25.1% increase in general fund, 19.6% increase in watershed fund, and 30.7% increase in the group insurance fund, with an overall increase of 2.6 million. That would have been a bad mistake. The operating budget key driver for FY25 is salaries or personnel, regular across all funds. 86.5% of HR's proposed fiscal year budget is personnel. We have had to fill positions, staff positions, balance, equity, and parity in that space, as well as a myriad of projects that we have been tasked with. We've had to increase staff in order to be able to fulfill the promises that the city has put forward. Number 5. Looking into HR's fiscal year 25 proposed budget for the general fund has an increase of 25% with a total proposed budget of $9,544,616. Salary, regular changes in staffing levels, such as filling vacant positions, contributed to the variance in salaries. Regular of 1.9 million. Our purchase and contract services, we're trying to maintain cost neutral there in that space. The department aimed to remain budget neutral by managing expenses and reallocating resources within existing proposed budget allocations to accommodate changing needs and priorities. And we also tapped a few of our department partners on the shoulder about internal services that we provide. Supplies, budget neutral by inventory management, minimizing waste and ensuring optimal utilizations of those supplies. Interdepartmental, budget adjustment to accommodate from purchase contract services to accommodate 3 additional vehicles for EAP, which we're currently down. Other uses, an 11% increase for GMA lease fee. Okay, we're ready.
All right, that was a new indoor record. Ms. Overstreet?
I do want to speak, but do we have a printout of what you just went over today?
No, sadly,
We provided it. But,
we were expecting them and they have not appeared.
I know you provided it.
Sorry.
I'm sure you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can share ours. So you all have copies.
Oh, no. I mean, no.
We've got your budget right in front of us.
Yeah, we have that before us. I just like the slides too, but in general, I'm very proud of what you've done with HR. Thank you. Yeah, it really does deserve a hand clap. You and your team has really worked with council, the internal customers, which are the employees of the city of Atlanta, the external customers, that would be the unions, and everyone. I am floored by the response and the turnaround of just the way that you've handled the caseloads and the full-blown perception of HR has changed since you've been here. And I am just very thankful for your leadership. And I wanted to make sure that I use this budget season to let you know that. And evidently, I'm not the only one, because we've had several departments and people come before us to actually call you out. They gave you shout-outs. You and your team, and some of them were happy to give you a shout out, even though they say that you don't even tell them what they want to hear.
I do it nicely.
That's right, because so there's always a managing expectations component of being a true leader, and making sure that everyone understands how valuable it is that they're doing their part and that you can't do your part without their part. So we are all working together. And I think you're doing a phenomenal job of that. And so I'm not going to dive into the numbers right now, but I did want to take this opportunity to just say thank you and acknowledge the work that you and the entire team has really done over this last year, or however long you've been here now.
1.6.
1.6. This 1.6 has really made a difference,
Yes.
and I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Overstreet.
And now I'm gonna find what I want to talk about.
Okay, we are here.
I echo the Commissioner Smith. I echo my colleague from the 11th District of Atlanta when I say that the unions came in here and they said enough. They looked back and they said that the relationship they had with HR was unlike any relationship that they've ever had with HR. They commended the mayor on his budget. They commended the entire administration because of the work they did with you. And so I stand with you on that, and I appreciate you for bringing forth this and bringing up the relationships. Because the first 2 years when we got here in City Hall, the relationship with the union system, they weren't even talking to each other. So to hear them talk to each other and still compliment you, it goes to a testament of leadership and still being strong and firm, because I still know that you all have some real battles in meetings. So once again, congratulations, and continue doing the work that you've been doing in the city of Atlanta. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Lewis.
I'll add to the accolades, because I've seen it firsthand, especially with the recent job fair that we partnered on. I think that the level of commitment that your department is now showing to making sure we're recruiting the best and the brightest, filling the vacancies, and operating the city at a level that our constituents, taxpayers, business, people who visit Atlanta expect. I think we are definitely on the right track, and again, it's because of your leadership. 1.6 years, I mean, that's not a whole lot of time to accomplish what all y'all have accomplished. So the great thing is that means our conversation today is not about kind of reform and righting the ship. It's about enhancements. It's about additional bells and whistles that we can do, because we're in a tight job market right now, and only those that are playing the A game are going to get the A people. And it's nice to be able to visualize City of Atlanta in that echelon, that we're going after the same people that private industry are going after, because of the work that y'all are doing. So I have a couple of questions. I mean, I know a lot of the energy is going to be focused on the class and compensation results and implementation. So I'm just going to put that to the side, because we're going to have plenty of time to dive into that. I'm curious as to, a lot of folks are interested in what they make and what they take home in terms of pay, but there are a lot of folks here who also are interested in their additional benefits that they receive as employees. So we can talk about retirement, so kind of pension. We can talk about training and certification that we offer. We can talk about educational opportunities like tuition reimbursement. We can talk about equipment and supplies, uniform allowances and things like that, health benefits, health programs that y'all are doing. Just talk to me a little bit about your philosophy of how you evaluate that, what visions and plans you have in place to maybe start adding those in as well. Just understanding that money isn't everything to some, and some just want a good work-life balance, but feeling like they belong to something that's really positive.
Belonging, thank you, Councilmember Juan. Belonging is very important, and that is one of the things that we as a department want to make sure that employees know that we see them. I believe that the relationships that we build carry us through all the challenges that we have. In labor, I was pretty much threatened about who I would be working with before I came to the city, but I said I take everybody as I find them. And when I established relationships with the labor partners, we had that discussion about respect, and not just respect amongst ourselves, but respect for the employees. When I came to the city, I don't want to say I found a broken workforce, but I found a workforce that wanted a little bit more of attention and wanted transparency, wanted loyalty, wanted trust, wanted to know that, their matters would be handled confidentially. So for me, a lot of what I do is easier for me to do it because of the communication that I deliberately try to establish, not just with our workforce, but I've said it 1,000 times. Everyone from the person who sweeps the floor all the way up to the mayor's office deserves the same level of treatment. Even with your office, it's my responsibility and my team's responsibility to be responsive, to be timely, and to make sure that we bring the issues forward that need to come forward. Because the more that we talk to the workforce, the less you have to talk to the workforce, the less the workforce goes to the media. So it's important that we understand and try to feel and empathize exactly what our employees are going through. We understand the current financial market, we understand the classification and compensation study purpose, and this mayor and this administration, as well as you all, have been very deliberate in what type of investments you've made in this workforce. It's been over $180 million. 3.5 COLA 2 years in a row. We've had retention bonuses. We've had, we now have tuition reimbursement, and they're, ongoing investments. That puts me in a better position to have employees understand that you don't just stay where you are. You have an opportunity to grow within the city. We even have opportunities for those who have had contact with the system. Everybody in Atlanta deserves an opportunity to work for the city, and we want to make sure that they understand that. And it's not just about the job, it's about the person. So when the mayor advised us that we needed to make this a first choice employer, that's the goal. We have employee resource groups, wellness initiatives, first class benefits package. We've suppressed benefits for over 2 years. Don't look for that in the future. They've been very generous. So if you're going to hit me across the head for anything, that may be one of them, but we're negotiating. And we have several different types of fairs. We're tracking the employee opportunities where it comes in the health space, where we have had a lot of workshops and fairs in terms of prostate cancer, diabetes, vitamin D, anything that's trending with our workforce that we are looking at and speaking with our benefits partners to find out where are our employees having challenges, medical challenges. We need to find out how to educate them in those spaces. And as far as the pension, making sure that we're doing the road shows. We have the benefits open enrollment. We do a whole fair now that we started about a year or two ago when I came to the city. That benefits fair allows employees to come in contact with every single vendor that we do business with as far as their health benefits are concerned, and their ongoing relationships on a monthly basis for them to get that information. So if anybody here works in this city and does not know about their health benefits, their pension, or anything like that, it's probably because they haven't asked a question, because we're saturating the organization with that, but we remain available with our entire team to respond and make sure that we educate our workforce about what they, the benefits that they work for on a daily basis. And we want everyone from, not just in City Hall, we have upward where we're budgeted for 10,000 employees. Right now, I think we're staffed today at 8872, and we want every last one of those employees to understand that they can come to Human Resources for any need that they have.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I know that that's the approach y'all have taken. I would encourage us, again, as we kind of keep raising the floor in terms of the compensation side, that we continue to look outward as well. I mean, what the workplace looks like in the private sector now is so different from when I graduated from college. Even down to the way the spaces are designed, to the
Yes.
amenities. Some places even have game stations. Game Boy. I don't even know what they are. PlayStation. That's it.
We can do that if you all
Yeah, but
allow
no,
it.
Again, it's great that you've lifted the level, because now we can start having those conversations about the bells and whistles that make it a better place to work. My last comment has to be, it feels like you have also in your tenure kind of re-centralized the HR functions, whereas before it felt a little more decentralized. Like you had HR out in a unit and there wasn't a whole lot of coordination. Is that a correct impression and sense that I'm getting, and are you finding that that's an effective way to approach your work?
It's absolutely correct, and it was very intentional. It makes sense for us to know what's going on in every part of the city because we're responsible for making sure that employees are up to date and well aware of everything that's going on as far as their employment is relates to the city. When I came to the city, I did find it very decentralized, and it is a work in progress to continue to centralize that function. Right now with the team, we have basically with both the DCs and the help of the administration, we are making sure that we are automating, we're streamlining, we're becoming a bit more efficient. And now, within the last couple of weeks, we started bringing, well, we've always brought the HR business partners together, but HR business partners that work in the respective individual departments are now tasked with coming together on a biweekly basis to sit down and have meetings and collaborate amongst themselves and know exactly what they're doing, and everything is going to be forms driven from that point, so everyone is using the same forms.
I mean, you've built a team. I mean, it's obvious.
Amazing team.
I mean, the energy, the spirit, the camaraderie, and just the collaboration, but the results. So I'm glad to see you've centralized because that's, what we need. We need that energy within your team that can then be mimicked across the city. So congratulations, thank you. I look forward to the classification and comp details, but kudos on a great job to you and your team.
Thank you, Councilmember One.
I've got a couple questions. So your budget is increasing relatively significantly. That appears to be driven by your rather significant increase in FTEs. Will those new positions be dedicated to any one or two particular areas, or will they be spread across your organization as needed?
We have some dedicated to specific areas, mainly HRIS. We've been tasked with several different projects. We've had the classification and compensation study. We have had Oracle time and labor. We have performance management. All of those require additional resources in order for us to stay timely with that and to continue with ongoing operations for HR on a daily basis. That's just in our unit. We've worked with other departments who have actually provided funding for HR resources within their departments for us to be able to assist and augment some of the services that need for human resources. As we grow the workforce, we will need to slightly grow the team in an effort to be more responsive and stay current with employment operations across the city.
And speaking of vacancies, for as hard as you work, it occurs to me that you could probably like to see your deputy position filled as quickly as possible.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
person on the horizon?
I'm looking for him, her or him.
So speaking of vacancy rates, I want to ask you just an HR question. You can choose not to answer it. There are some departments that have carried a 25% vacancy rate for 20 years straight.
Yes.
And I understand that the idea is that this is going to change next year because of a potential pension sweetener and pay raises where needed on top of the last several years of pay raises. And so we'll see, but it makes me wonder when departments traditionally carry a 20 to 25% vacancy rate and achieve a national accreditation that puts them in the top 1% in that chosen field. Does that mean all those vacancies are positions that they would like to fill versus have to fill to do their job?
I have
And
to
we've
answer this
lost
carefully.
we've got a lighting problem here, I guess.
Yes, I have to answer this carefully. That is an operational, I think it's relatively an operational decision for the department. But what we did when I came into the city was we scrubbed quite a few positions. And now that we've had the classification and compensation study, many of the positions that depart, and this is going to be news, everybody, many of the positions that departments are holding on to that they haven't used in years will be gone. We have a brand new classification plan and a brand new ordinance for the pay plan. So many of the positions that have been held and that we tried to, when I came in brand new, nicely and asked, why do we keep this if it's been vacant for 5 years? Oh, because I need it. It's gone. So at this point, we're going to be looking at a brand new schedule of classifications citywide with brand-new compensation, pay ranges to accompany that through the pay plan. And we will have those discussions when we get to that, provided that it's passed by this council.
Right, and one of the reasons I ask is because I think one of your superpowers is your candor. I know that if I misspeak, you're going to correct me before I'm done with the sentence. And as you know, it's just human behavior that there are some people in this building who appreciate a straight answer, straight with no chaser, rather than to continue to feel that they're ignored. So I think that's very important. Are there any sort of national benchmarks that HR outfits can compare themselves to in terms of benchmarking?
Yes, there are a few. We actually brought home a few accolades for best and brightest in a few other areas, but I haven't, to be quite honest, personally sought that out. I've been just trying to get to the work, but I believe with our team, our communications team, and the deputies in the office, along with administration, can start to look at benchmarking against that. But I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm confident we're hitting a lot of them. Where we are in our space and the work that we're doing. This team works very hard to make sure that we're not just employee-centric, but we also are candidate-centric, trying to bring in that talent. So we will make a point of looking around to try to figure out how somebody can better see Atlanta, I should say, and benchmarking, because I know we're doing some remarkable things in the HR space, and not me, these amazing folks behind me and those who are probably watching who couldn't attend today.
So, as you now have learned in your 1.6 years of service here, this building is filled with employees who love the city. They get here early, they stay late. In addition to doing their job, they're probably doing half of that person's job and a quarter of that person's job. So, to climb on my favorite hobby horse, it's my contention that our current and historical evaluation system underappreciates those people. And I think it's equally unfair to people on the other end of the spectrum who don't get the opportunity to be coached up when they need to. So my question is, what is your plan for imbuing our evaluation process with some modicum of relevancy?
We had to get it started, and I know that you are a metrics man and you like data and analysis. So with the performance management program, we will actually be able to measure that, not just what happens at the end of the year, but there are touch points throughout the work year that employees will be able to meet with the managers for 30, 60, and 90 days, and even beyond that. But beyond that, having the conversations, I speak to my colleagues in cabinet and outside of cabinet as I'm dealing with them on a daily basis. We need to be more in contact with our employees. We need to have discussions with them about what they're doing, how they're doing, where they want to go. We always encourage employees to have career conversations with our team. Don't stay in the position that you're in, because I've had employees, I'm only making this amount of money in this position. I say I have 9,000 other jobs. 9,999. Don't stay and get stuck and argue with me about how much money I make in one position when I'm posturing myself and posturing you to take advantage of educational opportunities, licensing, and everything that we pay for. So we continue to have those conversations because we know that we're going to be battered with that, or the person who does everything in that space. Okay, look for a promotion or come and have a career conversation with us about moving forward. We have a brand new unit of, what's the name? I always blow it. Employee outreach and engagement. That is, we intentionally seek that, the very thing that you're mentioning, that issue, to try to make sure that employees understand. It's not just about, you coming to work every day, showing up for your paycheck. We want to make this a place you want to wake up, because people don't leave jobs, they leave people. And that's why we make it, make it important point to share with our colleagues. Watch how you talk to your employees. Watch how you treat your employees. Know that they're human. Know that they go through things. Know that they're dealing with things, especially coming out of the pandemic. We're dealing with illnesses, or families that are dealing with death, there's suicides, all kinds of things. We have a robust EAP program. We have the health and wellness unit for our public safety team. So we just want to make sure that employees are accessing that and not just getting frustrated in the seats that they're in and settling for that, because the city has so much more to offer the individual employees.
All right, thank you. Others? Ms. Boone.
Thank you, Commissioner and team, and to everyone in that audience. First, Commissioner, let me say that I've been here a very long time, and for the first time, I heard from AFSCME, PACE, the firefighters. Those are the people that make the city work, and they are happy. So for that, I applaud everything you all have done as a team. You deal with issues, you don't pass the buck, you respond, and we appreciate that. And some of the hidden talent, you have found this talent, and you're growing them, and we appreciate that. Folks that have been here a very long time are now being recognized, and their talents are being brought out. And for me, someone who's been here a very long time, that means a lot. That really does. Speaks to your work ethic and your understanding, because you literally have people's lives in your hand.
Absolutely.
With the stroke of a pen, you can take that away. You have been kind, considerate, and tough.
Okay.
But no, seriously, there were some issues that we had to deal with, and you dealt with them. People's lives could have been taken away from them at the stroke of a pen, and you did not let that happen. So I want to publicly, on behalf of the citizens of Atlanta, thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Councilmember Boone.
I have a couple of more things. Y'all may not like this part, but what does pain me is when I go into the recreation centers and I see the employees waiting on HelloFresh and waiting on the food bank and wanting to know, is it going to be a food giveaway at this particular center so that they can take care of their children and their families. When I see some employees that are overlooked and new people are brought in over them and they've paid their dues, those are the things that I would like for us to really look at. People that have been here a very long time, and then somebody comes in over them, making $10, $15, $20 more. I want us to look at that.
Can you please make sure that those employees contact my office?
I will.
Thank you.
I will. Also, the city of South Fulton, some kind of way they are able to pay every employee $20 an hour. Some kind of way. That's just, I'm just putting that out there. But I think that will be music to people's ears if at some point in the near future we could explore making sure that everybody on our payroll makes a minimum of $20 an hour. But I want to thank the people in this audience. Will y'all please stand, because y'all do the work. Y'all please stand. And I want them to stand because they go beyond the call of duty. I see them at the job fairs. I see them moving around the city. I see all of them with the shirts on, helping people at midnight basketball, working with these interns. I see what they're doing. So you have a wonderful, wonderful team. And I just want to thank you all so much for all you all do in every single department. If you all have not noticed, we have way less complaints. We have way less drama. And I think people feel good. I think people feel good when they walk in City Hall and walk to their various buildings at Clare Drive and over at Chester Avenue and at the rec centers. I think people feel good. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to our new deputy, Ms. Finley, who answers the call as well. Congratulations. Thank you all.
Thank you, Councilmember Vaughn. Mr. Chair, if I may, I just want to take this opportunity in my 1.6 years to thank the city of Atlanta for, that's a running joke today. For this opportunity to come into this space and to just be as impactful as this team has been, and to be able to lead from the mayor's office, Chief Donald, Chief Benjamin, and all of the executive team, all of my colleagues, because we can't do the work if we don't work with the partners in cabinet, and especially my extraordinary team behind me, but also the labor partners, Gina Pagnata, Nathan Bailey, even though we've had our differences, respectfully. CJ Murphy from police and AFSME, Mr. Thornhill. Just, it's a great time when we can all sit down at the same table and have a discussion respectfully and walk away whether we agree or not. But that relationship benefits everybody. The more we talk to them, the less they talk to you. So, and not in a bad way, just making sure they don't bring those complaints to you. So we want to keep up with that work, but I'm just grateful for the opportunity to have come into this space and have the ability to, and the flexibility to build a team that can actually be as impactful as, that everyone is giving accolades to this team for. So I am grateful for this opportunity, and I thank you in moving forward with the partnership. And I appreciate the support that you all have given me in my 1.6 years, coming before you as often as I do, because I never knew that I had to go on TV every 2 weeks. So I'm grateful for the support and the respectful treatment that I've received from this council. Thank you.
And that concludes this afternoon's pep rally. Colleagues, we will reconvene in about 20 minutes for procurement. Thank you to HR.